Hello and welcome back to the Finnish countryside. This is our fixer-upper in rural Finland that we have been restoring for a long time, with no previous skills. And this is my nemesis, the roof. And this is my husband.
Into the light.
We have been battling with this leaky roof for all this time, fixing it up where needed. This year, hopefully before autumn, we should, however, finally get a new roof. But somehow we should still make it last until then. So of course this spring has brought us several storms, and the last one ripped the roof open. And if it's not clear yet, I'm terrible with heights.
Voitko laittaa sen nyt kiinni, niin mä voin tukeutua siihen.
Mun pitää liikkua tuonnepäin tai ylätapuja.
Mä haluan.
Liikuttamalla takapuoltaan kattoruudetta vasten hän merkitsee tulevan reviirinsä, jonka jälkeen hän pressuttaa, jotta kotipesä olisi vesitiivis.
Sä rupesit kuvaamaan taas. Oliko se mun viime hetket muuta? Mulla on kyllä mitään välineitäkään, millä mä tuon saan.
On the backyard side of the house, we started to work on the siding. Only problem was that there's the lowest log that is on the way, because it's so much wider than the rest of the wall. So it had to be cut.
Kohti löytyy.
This job goes to the long list of we could never, that we actually could. I am so impressed how he's tackled that whole chainsaw thing. His skills will be so much needed. home I started to work on the bathroom windows. There was some crispy parts on one of the sashes, so I decided to risk it and try to patch it instead of just covering it with paint and putty. I left these small notches on each side just so that if my patch is not sturdy enough, there will be something to keep the window pane on its place. I'm sure there are better ways to do this, but I hope there are also worse ways to do this. So I'm really cool being somewhere in the middle. In the end, I noticed that it was not actually completely flush, but I tried. And you know, you gotta start somewhere. Just so that I wouldn't mess it up on the finish line, I did a raw cut with the multi-tool and then finished it off little by little with a sanding machine. Then some linseed oil to prime the wood for paint and shellac on the rabbet and the nuts. These are the ones that will go to the bathroom. I have 4 of these. I made these last night. So there's spots for the hinges. So today I'm gonna make 4 of these for the opposite side. Let's see how this goes. I'm putting a tape here so I can see kind of how deep I'm making the cutout. This may be our window color. This is a classic, and if it has looked good for a couple of hundreds of years, I'm guessing it will look good for the next couple of hundreds of years. Is it too, I don't know if it's ochre or how do you pronounce that, but immediately when I opened this can I thought that it's too brown. I should have picked a lighter shade. The can is already open, so I don't have any other option than to just paint the windows and see how it looks with the house, because everything looks so different in a can than in a bigger scale. Bloop. At the plot we brought in our water heater. It was barely used and we got it for free, so I'm really thankful for this. Before we started to install the siding, I wanted to try if the sashes I restored for this window still fit. Cause we had some problems getting the frame straight. We actually already had to reinstall the whole thing here. So we didn't want to do that for a third time. And the window work doesn't end there. As these windows I'm restoring for the bathroom didn't have any hinges for some reason, I had to make them myself. My dream through all this process has been to lay in a bathtub with a window open, listening to the birds singing outside. It was a bit tricky, both filming and working on these, as the frames are already installed and so is the waterproofing. So it's safe to say that a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders when we got all the 8 hinges to fit.
Näyttääpä hyvälle.
Niin semmonen vitu miracle, jos tää toimii.
Ei toimi. Se on täällä enemmän vielä auki. Yes! Se menee! Meneekö se? Tuli hyvä. Hyvä, että sä pojotat sinne. Yes! Siitä tuli vielä parempi. Se ei kyllä malta olla. Vitsi, miten hieno.
I've had a dream of a home in the countryside for so long. When I talk about us moving here, I still don't say when we live here. I say if we ever get to move here. So many things have gone wrong that it's hard to trust that this will eventually turn out right. But every small step forward is an inch closer to daring to say when instead of if. And even though it may sound quite gloomy, there's still hope. And when there's hope, there's no reason to give up. Just yet.